In late 1938, Cosmopolitan magazine published Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist H.R. Knickerbocker's interview with C.G. Jung. Jung's views, revolutionary at the time and still more than relevant today, dissect with surgical precision the psychological profiles of the three leaders. Knickerbocker starts the interview with the question:
what would happen if you were to lock Hitler, Mussolini and Stalin in a room together and give them one loaf of bread and one pitcher of water to last them a week? Who would get all the food and water, or would they divide it?
I doubt if they would divide it. Hitler, being a medicine man, would probably hold himself aloof and have nothing to do with the quarrel. He would be helpless because he would be without his German people. Mussolini and Stalin, being both chiefs or strong men in their own right, would probably dispute possession of the food and drink, and, being the rougher and tougher, would probably get all of it. There were two types of strong men in primitive society. One was the chief, who was physically powerful, stronger than all his competitors, and the other was the medicine man, who was not strong in himself, but was strong by reason of the power which the people projected into him. Thus, we had the emperor and the head of the religious community. The emperor was the chief, physically strong through his possession of soldiers. The seer was the medicine man, possessing little or no physical power, but an actual power, sometimes surpassing that of the emperor because the people agreed that he possessed magic, that is, supernatural ability. He could, for example, assist or obstruct the way to a happy life after death, put a ban upon an individual, a community, or a whole nation, and, by excommunication, cause people great discomfort or pain. Now, Mussolini is the man of physical strength. When you see him, you are aware of it at once. His body suggests good muscles. He is the chief by reason of the fact that he is individually stronger than any of his competitors. And it is a fact that Mussolini's mentality corresponds to his classification. He has the mind of a chief. Stalin belongs in the same category. He is, however, not a creator. Lenin created. Stalin is devouring the brood. He is a conquistador. He simply took what Lenin made and put his teeth into it and devoured it. He is not even creatively destructive. Lenin was that. He tore down the whole structure of feudal and bourgeois society in Russia and replaced it with his own creation. Stalin is destroying that. Mentally, Stalin is not so interesting as Mussolini, who resembles him in the fundamental pattern of his personality. And he is not anything like so interesting as the medicine man, the myth, Hitler.
Anybody who takes command of 170 million people as Stalin has done is bound to be interesting, whether you like him or not.
No, Stalin is just a brute, a shrewd peasant, an instinctive, powerful beast. No doubt in that way, far the most powerful of all the dictators. He reminds one of a Siberian saber-toothed tiger with that powerful neck, those sweeping moustaches, and that smile like a cat which has been eating cream. I should imagine that Genghis Khan might have been an early Stalin. I shouldn't wonder if he makes himself Tsar. Hitler is entirely different. His body does not suggest strength. The outstanding characteristic of his physiognomy is its dreamy look. I was especially struck by that when I saw pictures taken of him during the Czechoslovakian crisis. There was in his eyes the look of a seer. There is no question but that Hitler belongs in the category of the truly mystic medicine man.
As somebody commented about him at the last Nuremberg Party Congress, since the time of Mohammed, nothing like it has been seen in this world. This markedly mystic characteristic of Hitler's is what makes him do things which seem to us illogical, inexplicable, curious and unreasonable. But consider, even the nomenclature of the Nazis is plainly mystic. Take the very name of the Nazi state. They call it the Third Reich. Why? Because the First Reich was the Holy Roman Empire, and the second was the one founded by Bismarck, and the third is Hitler's.
Of course. But there is a deeper significance. Nobody called Charlemagne's kingdom the First Reich, nor Wilhelm's the Second Reich. Only the Nazis call theirs the Third Reich. because it has a profound mystical meaning. To every German, the expression Third Reich brings echoes, who more than once has indicated he is aware of his mystic calling, appears to the devotees of the Third Reich as something more than mere man. Again, you take the widespread revival in the Third Reich of the cult of Wotan.
Who was Wotan?
God of wind. Take the name Sturmabteilung, storm troops. Storm, you see, the wind. Just as the swastika is a revolving form making a vortex moving ever toward the left, which means in Buddhist symbolism sinister, unfavorable, directed towards the unconscious. And all these symbols together of a Third Reich led by its prophet under the banners of wind and storm and whirling vortices point to a mass movement, which is to sweep the German people in a hurricane of unreasoning emotion on and on to a destiny which perhaps none but the seer, the prophet, the Führer himself can foretell, and perhaps not even he.
But why is it that Hitler, who makes nearly every German fall down and worship him, produces next to no impression on any foreigner?
Exactly. Few foreigners respond at all. Yet apparently every German in Germany does. It is because Hitler is the mirror of every German's unconscious. But of course he mirrors nothing from a non-German. He is the loudspeaker which magnifies the inaudible whispers of the German soul until they can be heard by the German's unconscious ear. He is the first man to tell every German what he has been thinking and feeling all along in his unconscious about German fate, especially since the defeat in the World War. And the one characteristic which colors every Aryan soul is the typically German inferiority complex, the complex of the younger brother, of the one who is always a bit late to the feast. Hitler's power is not political, it is magic.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know what you thought of the video and interview in the comments. See you next week.